Rancho Memorial Airport. Automated weather observation. 19er. 19er. Zulu weather. Wind. Calm. Visibility. 1.
Alright, we're going to do a run up here. We're going to bring it up to 4,000 RPM. We're going to check the right mag, left mag. There's not much drop in the Rotax. Check our controls clear and free. Controls clear and free. Let's check the flaps. Bring the flaps down. Controls clear and free. We're going to leave the flaps down for a short takeoff. Gas is on, gas is on. We're going to leave our oil cooler door. We have a pulley for that for oil cooler, so it can get a little warmer. Trim is set. Let it warm up just a few more minutes, and then we're ready to go. What we're going to do is we're going to do a short takeoff. For a short takeoff in the 701, what I like to do is I like to have full flaps. I'll start with the stick in the very far back position. Add brakes, full power. Release the brakes. The nose will come up a little bit. And I'll go forward with the stick and it'll fly right on off. And Mexico traffic, 701 is going to be departing 06, will be a local flight, Mexico. Here we go. Very quick takeoff. And we cleared our obstacle, so what we'll do is we'll bring up the flaps. Flaps are up. Check our temperatures, oil pressure, looks good. We're going to go ahead and depart the pattern, and we're going to do some maneuvering, maybe some slow flights, some steep turns, maybe a power off stall. Then we're going to come back and do a couple circuits, maybe a couple short landings, normal landings, and show you what the 7-1's all about. What a beautiful day out here. Need a little sunglasses on today with your with all the snow shining. We could add power, do a better climb than we're doing. I had the flaps up and almost full power, and we're climbing over 1,000 feet a minute. Look at that, 1,100 feet a minute. 70 is a good climb speed. 70 is a good climb speed because you have an excellent climb, plus you can still see over the nose. And we'll go up to about 2,500 feet. That way we'll be safe altitude to do our steep turns and slow flight and the power off stall. No flaps, 75, still climbing 1,000 feet a minute. Alright, we're at safe altitude now. What we'll do is we'll set it up. Level flight. We'll trim it up for level flight. Cabin heat is working excellent. Hands off, level flight. We're indicating right about 90 miles an hour. Okay, we're going to slow it up a little bit, and then we're going to do some turns. We'll do some steep turns. Right out the skylight there, and we'll pull out right on the westerly head. Up, felt our wake turbulence there. Temperatures all look nice, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some slow flight. What you do to slow flight is you have to bring power back, stick back to get the flaps in. You have to do it very quickly, otherwise the flaps are very difficult to maneuver if you don't bring back the speed. So we've got the slow flight slow flight speed is between 40 and 50. You have excellent visibility. Definitely turn it very well at 45 miles an hour. We'll get lined up on this road a little bit. And we'll go into a power off stall. Power back, stick back.
Brookville traffic, Tomahawk 2499 Alpha entering base for 1.
And we're in a stall. All we're doing now is developing a sink rate about 600-700 feet a minute. Right now it's indicating about 500 feet a minute. And to recover, what you do is just slowly add power, neutralize the stick, and you're right out of the stall. Bring the flaps up, flaps up. And you're in cruise flight again. Let's go in and do a couple approaches and try to...
3-2 Zulu, weather, wind, calm, visibility.
The winds are indicating calm. I really prefer about 5 to 10 knots. You can really come in real slow at 5 to 10 knots. Go ahead and lose some altitude.
Traffic, Tomahawk 2499 Alpha, entering left downwind for 18.
Yeah, we're indicated right at 90 miles an hour, and we're below the continuous cruise.
Brookville traffic, Tomahawk 2499 Alpha, entering base 18.
Continuous RPM is 5,500, and right now we're almost right there, almost at 95, which is a little bit too fast in my opinion for the 701. We'll bring it back. That new cinch neck ground adjustable prop really works nice. Alright, we're going to enter a left downwind for runway 06. And Mexico traffic, Sprimo's going to enter a left downwind for runway 06, Mexico. What I like to do is I like to maintain a high approach. When I get a beam in numbers, I'll pull back power, lead the airspeed, and apply flaps. And then I'll start descending probably about 300 to 500 feet per minute. But on final, I like to stay a little bit higher than you do in most of your conventional airplanes. And I'll control that sink rate with power, and I can actually land a lot shorter distance-wise than I can coming in a little shallower. I like to stay a tight approach in case there is an engine failure. You can make the field. We're lucky enough to have a nice runway here, but if you was bush flying, you'd only have a one-shot deal. Okay, we're getting close to the beam the numbers, and when we get to the beam the numbers, I'll pull power, pull the stick back, bleed the airspeed, add flaps all at once. There we go, beam the numbers, pull back power, pull power back to almost about idle, airspeed's going down, apply the flaps, lower the nose. Now we've added the VGs on the elevator, which is just like magic. I mean, they've really helped out the 701. Typically, my approach is between 50 and 60. Short final, I'll probably be in the high 40s. In Mexico traffic, 701 is going to be turning final 406, Mexico. Pretty much at idle, glides very nicely. A lot of guys say that the 701 doesn't glide very well, but looky here, full power back, 500 feet descent rate, that's a typical airplane approach. Approach right now is about 50. Had to miss that hawk there. A little different. You want to lose a little bit of altitude, what I like to do is just bring the nose up a little bit, bleed off that airspeed, develop that sink rate. But then you're going to have to catch it with power at the very end. We're at about 45 miles an hour. We're going to have to catch it with a little bit of power. Add just a touch of power at the very end. Keep the nose up. Or touch down. You want to keep the nose off the runway as long as possible. Protect that firewall. Do a touch and go, you just add a little bit of power and she's ready to go. We're getting close to the flap range, so we want to bring our flaps right back up. We're going to try that again. Right now I'm indicating about 1,200 feet a minute climb. And we're right at our pattern altitude. Okay, let's try it again. We're beam the numbers, pull back power, lead off the airspeed, apply flaps. Nice, smooth operation. Yeah, Mexico traffic, 701 is going to be turning final, 06 Mexico.
Brookville traffic, Tomahawk 249er, Alpha, entering left downwind for 1.
We are still at idle. Flights very nicely. Yeah, Mexico traffic, experimental is on short final, 06 Mexico. Just a touch of power. And I like to keep the stick all the way back. Keeps that firewall protected. Look at the Falcon just flying by. Beautiful. Well, thank you for flying with us today, and I hope you've had fun. Thanks.